Another really important job to get out and do in the garden in April is to go around and check your tree ties and tree supports, especially if you have newly planted trees under 5 years old. In recent months in the UK, we've had a series of really bad storms which could have broken your tree stakes and worked loose your tree supports. So you do need to make sure you go around and check them. And even if they are intact and they haven't been damaged by the recent winds, you do need to make sure you go around and give your newly planted trees a little bit of breathing space. So if you have a tree tie like this, simply undo it, move the spacer, give the tree a little bit of breathing space. Quarter or half an inch is more than adequate, just to make sure it's not cutting into the bark, and then refasten it so it's nice and tight and steady. Now, I'm bringing you this video because I'm a little bit annoyed with myself, and this is a rookie mistake as far as a gardener with my qualification level is concerned. These are my pleached limes, and for those of you that have followed me for a long time, you know that these have been in the ground in the edge of the vegetable and cutting out garden between us and our neighbour on the south side boundary. These have been planted now around 3 years. Now these were actually bought for around 15% of the actual cost of pleached lime trees. They were still quite a lot of money, still around £150 each, and represent a huge capital investment for myself and a very, very long-term growing project. I created a bamboo framework you can see here, which is secured to the trees. Now I've already gone through and done my pruning for these. I did that at the very, very beginning of the year, bringing the canes down horizontally and removing everything else that I didn't want. What I didn't do, because I was working from the other side, is check that the cable ties that actually attach the framework to the tree themselves were actually loose and not cutting into the bark. So I'm bringing this video to make sure that you remember there's a lot going on and there's a lot of things that you need to forget, you can forget about. This is something that needs to be done every single year to make sure that you're not damaging your trees with the things you're trying to support them with. And this has really, really cut into the bark. So this needs to be completely removed now. Let's see if I can get my secateurs in here. Just remove this away, just like that. And these will need to be replaced. You can see, if you zoom in on that, there's actually quite a lot of damage to that bark already, where these have been far, far too tight. Now I checked these around 13 months ago, so I'm a little bit late on doing this, but I should have done this several weeks ago. So do go around and check your tree ties and supports. Make sure that the supports you have in place aren't actually cutting into the bark and rubbing, and give them a little bit of extra breathing space.